No, but it was good.
He missed his morning routine. You know what I mean?
Hey!
The only chance when you don't have to do.
Alright, up top, this is our e-curb device. In case of an emergency, turn this on. It sends our location exactly where we are to the Coast Guard. They'll send a helicopter off, and they'll know exactly where to drop the goods, so we'll be alright. Up top.
There's bathrooms, there's picnic pavilions, and there's showers. That's it. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. There are no Starbucks out here, there's no lifeguards, there's no cell phone service, there's no gas stations, any of that stuff. So you venture out here, you want to make sure you have everything needed, you know, make sure your car has gas and you got snacks and drinks, and be extra careful in and around the ocean, of course, out here especially. We're about 2 hours from here from any kind of a services or assistance, so just be smart and take that into consideration. One thing I would not recommend driving on the beach though in your rental car, you're going to get stuck and it's going to be expensive to get your car out, or yeah. Naya is the name of dolphin in Hawaii, and they're full-time residents, of course. You can experience this particular type of dolphin on any of the Hawaii islands you visit. They are mammals, so they're protected. You can't swim with them or ride them or pet them or anything like that. In 1970, this particular type of dolphin was captured. They were separated and they were put into marine life parks, such as SeaWorld. They did not survive. They went into a state of starvation and depression, so natural habitat around the Southern Pacific Ocean. They're pretty small. They're about 4 to 6 feet in length, and only a couple hundred pounds. Most of the ones you are seeing are full grown. This baby season though, so you may see some babies. The top dorsal fin, the one you guys see right in the middle of the body coming up out of the water. The male, a little bigger and a little more triangular. The female is a little smaller, a little more curved, like a surfboard skeg. If you guys have seen a surfboard before, it looks like the fin. Very similar to that, so male and female there. None of these ones are actually sleeping right now. I saw one jump a second ago. That one is not sleeping, but the ones that are just paddling and born about the size of a football. They're born. Pretty small. Pacific green is sea turtle. Oh, freaked out. Also known as honu. These things are pretty cool. They're all around the island. They're protected. You can swim with them and stuff like that. Just don't touch them though. The oils on our body is actually harmful to them, but you can cruise with them for a while. These guys are pretty cool. They can actually slow their heartbeat down to about 1 beat per minute. They anchor themselves down on the bottom of the ocean, and they can take a little nap down there for a couple hours. So, again, I wish I could do that. It's pretty cool. But yeah, just hang out. This valley right here in front of us, this is a good indication of the erosion out here. So this is what we call as a hanging valley, friends. Kauai is about 6 million years old. This is the oldest island in Hawaii. It also takes the brunt of the beating during the winter time. So if you look off this way to about the 9 o'clock position, 9:30, the next landmass between here and Kauai is the Aleutian Islands of Alaska. That's about 2,700 miles across the open ocean. You'll run into Alaska out there, and we get some big waves that generate up in a little area called the Bering Sea in the winter time. Winds and extremely large waves generate up there. They travel across the open ocean and they slam into the islands. But with that being said, this is a hanging valley, and this is where you guys can see where the coastal erosion is more rapid than the inner island erosion. Right in front of us at 12 o'clock, you can see a darker section right in the side of the sea cliff, right where that wave is hitting right now, 12 o'clock. And so these waves, this is like a ripple today. So I'm talking like 20, 30, 40 footers out here. These waves find a weak spot in the rock, and they constantly just hit the same area day after day, year after year, and it's burrowing it out, and it's creating a sea cave. Eventually the sea cave gets so big and the ceiling of the sea cave gets too heavy, it just kind of crumbles and it collapses on itself, right? That's what happened directly in front of us here. So NaPali Coast is the second fastest eroding coastline in the entire world. Number one is the Dover Chalk Cliffs in England, and that erosion, guys, is all just simply caused by the waves we constantly get out here. A couple million years ago, this coast was about 3 miles further out to sea, just breaking off and breaking off. That's why these cliffs are so sheer and so rugged. It's just erosion by the big waves. The caves will make more sense to you guys once we get up to Kauai for about $15 a night, and it's super reasonable with a 4-night maximum. The only speculation is it's challenging to get here. There's one way to get here and one way to get out of here, and that's by the ocean. There are no trails, there's no roads, there's no ladders or anything that come down from the top. Kayaking, small boats, jet skis, you know, having a family member with the boat dropping you off and making some arrangements to pick you up in a couple days or something like that. There's absolutely nothing out here other than what you bring, of course. There's a couple picnic pavilions, there's a composting outhouse, and there's a cabin right there you guys can see behind the trees. That's where the state stays, the DLNR, the Department of Land and Natural Resources, kind of like state troopers, game wardens. They come out here via helicopter. They don't kayak out here. They'll land back behind the outhouse there, and they'll camp a couple days, checking permits, doing some work in the area, and just getting away from their emails for the weekend for sure. The name of the area, though, is Milili'i, and Milili'i means and represents what the Hawaiians were doing here. So from these areas moving forward, you're going to hear myself and Kason talk about the Hawaiians were inhabiting, right? As early as the 12th century, up until the very early 1900s, thousands of Hawaiians came along this coast and lived and what have you. Milili'i means the fine twist or the tightly woven. So the Hawaiians of Milili'i were master rope makers. And how they were making that rope is they were taking coconut husk and they were shredding it. And they were shredding and looking for the very small, thin-like fibers within the husk of the coconut. And they took those fibers and twisted and braided them together. And that's what they made it a sinnet rope out of, a cordage. And so that cordage was used for many things, building things, bargaining and trading, fishing, and things along those lines. So the word Milili'i, again, means the fine twist or the tightly woven. That's one of our sister ships. They're on the 4-hour tour, so they leave at 8 and they get back at noon. Right in front of us though, I don't know if you guys are hikers. I always like to point one hike out. Up in Waimea Canyon. So you go up Waimea Canyon Drive, you go up Kokee, the state park, and you go past the museum and the restaurant and stuff like that. You don't need a permit for the hike. The name of the hike is called Aba Aba Puhi. So if you look at 12 o'clock, you can see those two pointy rocks. You guys see those? So behind them, the furthest back ridge line, you can actually see a couple people standing up there right now. It's flat on top, the furthest back ridge line. That is the ending of the hiking trail, Aba Aba Puhi. And you don't need a permit or anything like that. You just gotta drive up in the canyon. It's 3 miles out to that flatness and 3 miles back. It's 6 miles round trip. But the views are phenomenal. You get to see the NaPali Coast. You get to look down into this valley right here off to the 2 o'clock position. And this is the valley of Aba Aba Puhi. And that means the slithering eel. There's no snakes in Hawaii. So the Hawaiians believe this valley kind of slithers back as an eel does, living next to the ocean, right? show you this first waterfall here in just a second. The name of the hike up there is Ava. So that's year-round flowing. Of course, it's fresh water. There's never much more, never much less. So the center part of Kauai, Mount Waikini, Mount Waialeale, is one of the reddest spots in the entire world. On average, 650 inches of rain a year. Most been recorded is about 1,200 inches in one physical year. So that's where all this water comes from. It then feeds a spot up in Waimea Canyon called the Alakai Swamp. All that water from the center part of the island goes to the swamp, and then the swamp feeds all these waterfalls right here. So you guys are also looking for something else cool to do, there's a spot up in the Waimea Canyon at the end of the road. It's called Alakai Swamp. It's pretty cool. But from here, we're going to be going slow anyways. There's a little bit of motion in the ocean today, not too bad. We're going to start to get super close to these cliffs and potentially inside caves and stuff like that, okay? I just need you guys to stay seated.
I brought some shampoo and conditioner. You said Billy. Billy
Look at
goat?
the green grass right below the rock.
Back.
So right here in front of us, you guys see these two unique vertical lines, 12 o'clock, yeah? There's two of them. Okay, igneous intrusions and or lava dikes. So as I mentioned earlier, Kauai is about 6 million years old. The process and creation of the island right here visually in front of us. You got two vertical lines. Look outside of the vertical lines, you got horizontal lines. Each horizontal line simply represents a lava flow on top of lava flow. If you can't see the horizontal line, imagine pancake on top of pancake. Each pancake is a lava flow, creating Kauai. And somewhere during that process, there would be an earthquake or an aftershock. The earth would split open, as it did here, creating these two vertical lines. That would be filled in by a lava flow. The lava would seep in the cracks, and the cooling process was a lot more extreme. So that then created a different type of stone. So the stone in the two vertical lines is called pohoihoi, also known as bluestone. The stone that you guys see everywhere else is your common, very porous basalt, and that's called a'a. And the cracks are everywhere. They're kind of like the veins of the island. But when the Hawaiians first arrived here, other than the human body, this was the strongest natural resource that they had, this type of stone in the cracks. So they were making war implements and tools and things along those lines. And then as the outsiders, the Westerners started arriving, they were quite a bit more advanced in the Hawaiian culture. They started introducing them to things they'd never seen before. So anywhere you guys travel in the world, to an island of course, and you hear someone say pohoihoi, they're talking about the rock in the crack. And you hear someone say a'a, they're talking about the rock that's everywhere else. And the rock that's everywhere else is very porous, basalt. If you take two pieces of it and you bang them together, one of them, if not both of them, are gonna break in your hands. That's how fragile it is. And that's what's causing the erosion for the sea caves and stuff like that. Give us 1 second here, friends. Normally like 5 boats can go in there, but there's a little bit of motion in there today, so I'd rather we just wait out here, just in case. vertical lava tube at one point. It was the ceiling that caved in. That rock there is supposed to be the ceiling. That entrance that we came through is
Never heard.
Stilettos. She makes a music video. The song is called My Everything. Check it out on YouTube. And it's not her best song. I can advise you. So lower the volume. Picking up the speed again, okay? There's only one way to get to the back, and that's either in a kayak or swimming. You can get all the way to the back home.
Actually, butcher the guardian.
Yeah.
Swim it all the way back.
He can make it.
Okay, guys, tuck your toes and hang on. This is an ancient Hawaiian burial site. This is a cemetery. And the Hawaiians had a social class system, a ranking system within the Hawaiian society. The highest ranking within the social class would be ali'i. That was the royalty. That would be the kings and the queen. And when a royalty would pass away, their bones would be wrapped in a really nice papa cloth, and someone then would be dropped to the top of the ridgeline, as high up as you guys can see. This would generally be a ceremony that is performed at nighttime. That person with the bones would then be lowered down on a rope into the valley, along the walls in the back. They would forever tuck the bones away in the side of the cliff, being blessed above from a kapuna, or someone known as a high priest. That person then hanging would cut the rope and sacrifice their own life and fall to their death. No dead man tells no tale, right? The reason being is within the bones of the royalty lies a special spiritual, in essence, a mana. You could only use and get this mana if you were a royalty. So if you were an underclassman and you found these bones, you could conduct and use that mana to your advantage. Generally, the person that was selected to do the honors of securing the bones in the back of the valley was someone from the lower class in the Hawaiian social ranking. And generally, if you were ranked low, your whole entire family was. So by you doing that honors of securing the bones, you were also representing your family. So you would uplift them into a little more common or more respected class known as the maka'ainana. So this area is currently protected by the state. You're never allowed in the valley. It's super disrespectful. It actually is a crime, and it's like a $30,000 fine or something. You can hang out on the beach, day use area only, no surfboards, no camping, no beach fires. The only way to access the area is by swimming. So you drop anchor, you jump off the boat, and you swim into the beach. That is the only way that is legal. And the name of this side is Honopu'aina. There's two sides to the area here. I'm going to show you the Honopu'kai side of thing in just a second. And this side of the beach may look a little bit more familiar to you. Out here and love the NaPali Coast. They're about the only company that can get a special permit, being they pay the state a couple $1 million. They issue them a filming permit, a permit to land a helicopter. They come out here with movie stars and production crews and scientists and everything, so they know where to go and where not to go. And they use this area for short little stunts and clips in Hollywood movies. Most recently, Pirates of the Caribbean, starred Johnny Depp. Some of that was shot right here. You got Harrison Ford in 6 Days and 7 Nights. King Kong, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Acapulco Gold. Those are a handful of movies you guys may be familiar with. Little stunts and scenes were used in this area right here with this archway.
Whenever like a base jump around here.
Rock climbing is completely illegal in the state of Kauai because the rock is very, very brittle. Yeah, I told you about that. So, no, I mean people do it, of course. But yeah, there's no organized or permitted rock climbing in the entire state for any of the islands. So, when people do it, there was actually a guy, I don't know, like a month ago, he base jumped off the top of that and he came down through that valley and he flew through this archway. So, pretty impressive. With this being in it, sit your back to it and pass your camera to Kason and he'll happily snap a picture. You know, this is the one you want for Instagram, or I wish you were here, I'm glad you're not, or something like that. You know what I mean? Canyon before?
Yeah.
Okay, or planning on it. If you have not, I strongly encourage you to do so. It's beautiful up there. If you're a hiker, you can spend all day up there hiking. If you're not so much into hiking and you just want to go for a nice drive and scenic and take pictures and stuff like that, by all means do that as well. Where I was going with that, this next valley you guys will see on the right hand side here. The top right-hand corner of it, that's where the end of the road ends, at the top of the Waimea Canyon. So this valley right here is Kalalau. For those of you that have been up there looking down at the ocean, excuse me, that's where you were standing, vice versa. Or if you haven't been up there, when you do go up there, that's where you will be. But biggest valley out here along the NaPali Coast, standing roughly 2 miles wide, 2 miles to the back wall. This point right here is at about 5,000 feet high. That's the highest point along the NaPali Coast. With that being said, this was the most inhabited area. When the Hawaiians were living out here, you can find a couple thousand full-time Hawaiian residents living and thriving in Kalalau. The last documented Hawaiian family leaving the NaPali Coast was in 1906, I believe. We tried though. See what happens. We'll wait it out for a second.
The worst that could happen is we die.
A way to go down.
right back there, right in the middle there. It's a waterfall. Doesn't look like there's much water currently coming down. That's the second highest sea cliff waterfall in Hawaii. Number 1 is on Molokai. And so Kauai is second. 9th highest sea cliff waterfall in the world. But we went by that waterfall here. That's where it starts. And that's where it ends right there. So that's where it starts on top. This waterfall was reserved for especially the kings and the queens in the Hawaiian culture. If you were not a king or a queen and you were caught bathing or drinking or whatever in that water, it was capital.